bringing up the whole community, that this is what we're talking about in creating communities where, different people can be growing different things, and where all of a sudden the whole system works with everybody's input and participation. And then what you're talking about, Henrik, is it disappears, because now everybody's involved, everybody's happy, everybody's getting something, etc. And that's exactly what we're talking about in creating these community food centers, so that this participate. And there are many ways that people can participate, even by just asking everybody who belongs to spend or give, 3 hours a week, 5 hours a week, or, everybody kind of participates in all aspects. So then there's
and that's a problem because nobody really wants to give up that independence. The problem that I see, especially in Ecuador, is trusting that you get your fair share. Because no, I was working much harder, and I'm walking much further up the mountain than the other neighbor, and so why should we get the same? Or that's a parent.
That's the human element, isn't it?
That's the human element, exactly. That's my observation. I don't know what you observe in what we're talking about here, Mark, please.
Yeah, no, there's a ton in what you're saying. I think to reel off a couple of things, again, in this example of the $1 milk, what we haven't talked about in this picture yet is all of the damage that occurs in producing that $1 of milk, because that $1 of milk will be farmed in ways that are degenerating the land. It will be farmed in ways that harm animals. It will be farmed in ways that channel profit to a large corporation and a small number of owners who financially benefit out of it. It will also have more food miles associated with it, more fossil fuel consumption in both production and in distribution. And all of those things are things that won't be possible in the future. So like a really convenient way to kind of think about what our food system is going to be like in the future is simply say, oil doesn't exist. If oil doesn't exist, what is our food system going to look like? Because that's like a really simple way to both identify in our current food system what is not compatible with living systems, but also potentially trying to imagine what a food system would look like. Like if we can imagine what a food system would look like without oil, then that's a food system that is much more likely to be a living system. And that's going to touch on a whole bunch of these items, certainly including, the relationship. It's also comes back a little bit to like a really simple answer to all of these, to almost any question in this space. The answer is community. So what does the future look like? It looks like community. What is a healthy size of humans working together? Community. How do we regenerate our land so it supports us? Community. Community is kind of the catch-all thing, which in some ways like gets at like size in terms of the structure or something. It kind of gets at the relationships that are needed internally, but also like how big a community can be and still be autonomous and functional and able to organize itself. And also be like a entity which is sufficient to then be able to interact with other communities or other things in its surrounding environment.